I know this is going to sound completely backwards. Your whole life, every doctor and every health article has hammered the same message. Drink more water, stay hydrated. But here's what nobody ever told you. Most men past 50 are drinking water in a way that's actually hurting their sexual health. Wrong timing, wrong quantity, sometimes even the wrong kind. And once you correct these mistakes, you can genuinely improve your blood flow, your stamina, and yes, the quality of your erections. Today, I'm going to break down exactly why water plays such a critical role in your sexual function, how even mild dehydration quietly destroys your performance from the inside, and the precise way to hydrate so your body can support firm, reliable erections well past 50. By the time this video ends, you'll understand why I consider water the single most overlooked performance tool available to any man. Before we go any further, drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from today. I read every single one of them. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss the rest of this series. What I'm about to share has changed the lives of hundreds of my patients. Let's begin with a concept that sounds basic, but changes everything once you grasp it. At its foundation, an erection is a pressure event. Picture a fire hose. Without strong, consistent water pressure, that hose lies flat. It does nothing. Your erectile tissue works the same way. It requires a forceful, uninterrupted stream of blood to inflate it, stretch it, and hold it rigid. And here's the part most men miss entirely. Your blood is predominantly made of water. When there isn't enough water in your body, total blood volume shrinks, circulation gets sluggish, and that critical pressure needed for a complete erection falls apart. This isn't abstract theory. I witness it with my patients week after week. Men who are just slightly dehydrated consistently report erections that feel softer, take longer to develop, or fade away too quickly. When your fluid intake is low, your body doesn't just get a little parched. It shifts into emergency mode, a survival protocol where the brain, heart, and vital organs get first access to whatever blood is available. Unfortunately, in your body's order of priorities, your penis is nowhere near the top. So even when your mind is ready, your body might physically lack the blood supply to produce and maintain a solid erection. And we haven't even touched on the energy drain that dehydration causes at the cellular level, something that can quietly kill your desire before you reach the bedroom. But there's another problem hiding beneath the surface that almost nobody talks about. Dehydration thickens your blood. And I don't mean just a little. Think of it this way. Pouring water through a thin tube is effortless, smooth, fast. Now try forcing thick honey through that exact same tube. It barely moves. It sticks, it struggles. That's precisely what thick, concentrated blood does inside your arteries, particularly the tiny, delicate ones that are responsible for feeding your erectile tissue. And here's where age makes it worse. After 50, blood vessels naturally become stiffer. Collagen changes, nitric oxide declines, and plaque may have started building up. If your arteries are already losing flexibility, adding thick, slow-moving blood is the worst scenario. What does that look like? Erections that feel incomplete. Erections demanding more stimulation just to start. Erections that vanish right when you need them. It's not always a testosterone issue or a mental block. Sometimes it's as fundamental as your body trying to run a pressure system without enough liquid in the tank. And here's the encouraging part. This is one of the simplest problems to fix once you understand the mechanics. Now, I know what you're thinking. Fine, I'll just start guzzling more water. That instinct isn't wrong, but here's where it gets interesting. Most men aren't just drinking too little water, they're drinking it in the wrong pattern. Believe it or not, there is a wrong way to hydrate. One of the most damaging habits I encounter is the last-minute flood. The guy who realizes at 6 in the evening he's barely had water all day, so he grabs a bottle and chugs 3 glasses back to back, sometimes right before a romantic evening. The logic seems sound, fill the tank fast, but this approach often backfires. When you dump a large volume into your system at once, it can dilute blood sodium too rapidly, a condition called hyponatremia. It doesn't just leave you bloated and uncomfortable. It can trigger pounding headaches, lightheadedness, nausea, and even sudden muscle weakness. And on top of all that, Your bladder is now under serious pressure. Instead of being present and focused during intimacy, your mind is completely fixated on the growing, nagging urge to use the bathroom. That's hardly the kind of performance boost you were looking for. There's another pattern I see constantly: the drought and deluge cycle. You go the entire morning barely sipping, letting your body dry out like cracked earth. Then in the evening, you pour down glass after glass. The issue is, your body depends on steady hydration. Your cells, your arteries, and your erectile tissue all operate at peak when they receive constant fluid throughout the day. Dramatic swings between bone dry and soaking wet strain your kidneys, your heart, and your circulation. And here's a detail that surprises everyone. Thirst is a delayed signal. If you only reach for water when your mouth feels dry, you've already fallen behind. By the time your brain triggers thirst, your body has already adapted to mild dehydration. Blood flow has decreased, and your erectile tissue may already be functioning below its potential. Relying on thirst alone isn't a winning strategy for sexual health. Past 50, your body is less skilled at holding on to water compared to younger years. Dehydration impacts you faster and harder. The answer isn't simply more water, it's smarter water. The right amounts at the right intervals, so your system is always prepared. Here's the approach I walk my patients through. It's so straightforward, some men almost laugh it off, but the ones who follow it come back amazed. Step 1. Begin every morning with a large glass of water, 300 to 400 milliliters minimum, within 20 minutes of waking. Think about what your body has been doing all night. For 7 or 8 hours, you've been breathing out moisture, perspiring lightly, and your kidneys have been filtering waste without receiving a single sip. You wake up already dehydrated, whether you notice it or not. That morning glass works like turning on the main valve for your entire system. It replenishes your cells, wakes up your blood vessels, and sends a clear signal to your kidneys to start efficiently flushing out the toxins and waste products that accumulated while you slept. And because erections depend entirely on healthy, unrestricted circulation, this early morning hydration is exactly like warming up an engine before you take it out on the highway. You wouldn't drive a cold engine at full speed. Don't expect your body to perform without priming it first. To supercharge that morning glass for vascular health, add a tiny pinch of pink Himalayan salt and juice from half a fresh lemon. The trace minerals in the salt, especially magnesium and potassium, replenish electrolyte levels essential for muscle function and nerve transmission, including the smooth muscle inside your arteries that allows blood to surge into the penis. The lemon provides vitamin C, a powerful antioxidant that shields nitric oxide from degrading too fast in your bloodstream. Nitric oxide is the molecule your body creates to relax and widen blood vessels. Protecting it directly supports firmer, longer-lasting erections. After that morning glass, the approach shifts to what I call the constant trickle method. Rather than 2 or 3 large servings spread across the day, take small, frequent sips, about half a glass every 45 minutes to an hour. Think of it like maintaining gentle, constant flow through a garden hose, rather than shutting it off and then blasting it full force. Consistent hydration keeps blood volume optimal, prevents brain fog from mild dehydration, and allows your cardiovascular system to run smoothly all day. This matters even more if you're planning physical exertion later. And make no mistake, intimacy is absolutely physical exertion. Properly hydrated muscles, especially the pelvic floor, don't just perform better, they recover faster too. The pelvic floor governs erection firmness, stamina, and climax intensity. If those muscles are fatigued or dehydrated, performance suffers. Here's practical advice my patients find incredibly useful. If you're expecting an intimate evening, maintain steady sipping all day, but ease off large drinks roughly 45 minutes before. This gives your body time to process the last intake without a full bladder disrupting the moment. You keep all the advantages of hydrated blood vessels and responsive muscles, minus the bathroom interruption. We've covered circulation, but hydration's connection to sexual health reaches into hormones and your nervous system. Testosterone production is a complex process relying on healthy kidney and adrenal gland function. Kidneys clean blood, maintain electrolyte balance, and manage fluid distribution in ways that stabilize hormone levels. Adrenal glands, sitting above the kidneys, generate testosterone building blocks. When your body runs short on water, both systems are forced to operate under added stress just to maintain basic survival functions. That chronic stress response triggers a significant increase in cortisol production, which is your body's primary stress hormone. And here's why that matters so much. Cortisol and testosterone are essentially bitter rivals inside your body. They compete for the same resources. When cortisol climbs, testosterone gets actively suppressed. Over weeks and months, that hormonal imbalance can steadily erode your drive, drain your energy reserves, and significantly impair your ability to perform in the bedroom. Then there's the neurological side of things, and this is something most men have never even considered. Erections aren't simply about pumping blood into the penis. They depend on a rapid, perfectly timed chain of electrical signals traveling from your brain, down your spinal cord, through your pelvic nerves, and into the smooth muscle tissue of the shaft. Those signals need to be fast, precise, and beautifully coordinated. When you're low on fluids, the delicate water balance inside and surrounding your nerve cells gets disrupted, which can slow down those impulses considerably. The result is sluggish arousal, an erection that doesn't feel automatic, or difficulty maintaining it because the wiring isn't firing fast enough. Staying hydrated keeps the sodium-potassium exchange in nerve cells running efficiently, letting signals travel cleanly. That's why a hydrated man often says his erections just show up, while a dehydrated man feels like he has to wrestle one into existence. Think of the difference between high-speed internet and a buffering video. Hydration also fuels nitric oxide production at the cellular level. Nitric oxide converts nerve signals into actual erections by commanding penile arteries to open. When you combine consistent hydration, smart mineral support, and a nitric oxide-friendly diet, you're optimizing both the hardware and software of your sexual system. Some men assure me, "Doc, I drink plenty of fluids." But when I press on exactly what those fluids are, the truth emerges. Most comes as coffee, tea, soft drinks, or alcohol. While these contain water, they carry substances working against hydration. Coffee and black tea act as mild diuretics, pushing kidneys to expel water faster, meaning every cup may leave you with less fluid than before. Alcohol is worse. It blocks the hormone responsible for water retention, causing more frequent urination and accelerating dehydration. The deceiving part is that mild dehydration rarely announces itself dramatically. You might not feel desperately thirsty, yet your body could be running at a significant deficit. The simplest way to check is urine color. Light pale yellow signals good hydration. Consistently darker means your body needs more water. Another warning most men brush off is the mid-afternoon crash, that foggy heaviness where your eyes want to shut. It's not always hunger or tiredness. It's often your body throttling down because blood volume has dipped. Dry mouth is the obvious clue, but a less-known indicator is nighttime muscle cramping, especially in calves or thighs. You might blame aging, but cramping is often tied to dehydration and depleted minerals. Without adequate fluid, muscles can't contract and relax smoothly, making them prone to locking up during sleep. And one more quiet signal: weaker or less frequent morning erections. Because those depend on strong blood flow and sharp nerve signaling, dehydration can diminish firmness and regularity without you connecting the dots. Now here's where everything compounds. Water alone is remarkable, but paired with other performance-supporting habits, the effects multiply. Think of upgrading both engine and fuel simultaneously. Circulation-friendly foods like beetroot, leafy greens, dark berries, and fatty fish keep arteries elastic, reduce inflammation, and boost nitric oxide. When fully hydrated, your body delivers those nutrients efficiently to tissues that need them, including your pelvic region. Regular movement is another amplifier. A brisk 20-minute walk drives blood into your lower body, enhancing nutrient delivery and clearing waste from muscles and erectile tissue. But if you're dehydrated during exercise, the benefit gets slashed. Blood moves like sludge, your heart pumps harder, muscles fatigue sooner. Hydration ensures exercise-driven circulation reaches pelvic muscles and erectile tissue with full power. And then there's sleep, which we absolutely cannot overlook, because without deep, quality rest, everything else we've discussed starts to crumble. Your body manufactures the vast majority of its testosterone during the deepest phases of sleep, and dehydration can sabotage that critical process in two distinct ways. First, it can cause you to wake up more frequently during the night, either from thirst or because your heart rate elevates as your cardiovascular system tries to compensate for reduced blood volume. Second, poor hydration commonly leads to increased nighttime bathroom trips, fragmenting those deep, restorative sleep cycles even further. The end result is lower testosterone output, slower physical recovery, and noticeably weaker performance when morning comes. When you maintain steady water intake throughout the day, sipping consistently rather than gulping, you're building the foundation for improved circulation, dependable erections, and healthier testosterone. Layer in nutritious foods, regular movement, and quality sleep, and you have a potent formula for not just better sexual health, but greater vitality at every age. Gentlemen, I have personally witnessed men in their 50s, 60s, and even their 70s completely revitalize their intimacy and their daily energy levels by making this single adjustment. Water is far more than just a thirst quencher. It is the fuel that powers the very systems responsible for making you feel strong, confident, present, and fully capable. When you hydrate with intention and consistency throughout each day, you're giving your heart, your arteries, your nervous system, and your hormonal machinery the optimal conditions they need to deliver peak performance. So here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning, make that tall glass of water your very first act of the day. Sip steadily from sunrise all the way to sunset. And pay close attention over the next week or two as your energy starts to climb, your mental clarity sharpens, your mood lifts, and yes, your erections become noticeably stronger and more dependable. These small, consistent changes accumulate into something truly remarkable over time. And this particular change costs you absolutely nothing, carries zero side effects, and benefits every single system in your body from head to toe. If this video helped you, leave a comment below saying, "I'm starting tomorrow." Share it with a friend who needs to hear this, and hit that like button so more men can find this information. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and I firmly believe your finest chapter is still waiting to be written. It begins with getting the fundamentals right.